Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. Wheels them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Rumpus in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke. What is up, guys? What's cracking? It's the Con Man, and I am in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And guys, it is Wednesday. We're right here in the middle of the week. It is Hump Day. We're coming off of Raw on Netflix, coming off of a big weekend with the Royal Rumble and all the fallout from that. We're definitely going to talk about that. But before we do that, I got to do my due diligence and, of course, bring on my co-host here. And that is, of course, divinely designed Annie O'Neill. What is up, Annie?
What's up, Con? It's Wednesday, and it's time to give the people what they ask for. Going to talk about Raw. We're going to give it to them raw. No one does it better than you and I, friend.
Facts, absolute facts. And, you know, I had a huge weekend this past weekend. My God, huge weekend. Actually, I saw somebody from the street team from CIW there at on the Friday event. So I saw you nice. Wear that shirt, and I saw somebody wearing that gear when I went to the Superstore on Friday, and I was like, hey, you know Annie O'Neill? And he was like, yeah, I know. He's telling me everything about CIW and stuff. Nice. And I was like, oh yeah, I know about you guys. So that was kind of cool. Saw him there at the Superstore, had an opportunity to meet Braun Breaker. That was cool.
Incredible.
Yes, fun stuff. Had a chance to ask some interview questions to Rhea Ripley. That was awesome.
Dude, you knocked it out of the park. Like, how did it feel in that moment? Like,
just had to prove who I am, you know, like,
yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people that was asking some questions there, but I was like, you know what? Let me give her something that's going to make her think a little bit. Sure. And I think that I accomplished that. I did kind of make her think a little bit.
You did. I mean, but like, that's how you stand out, man. Like, and it's funny because about 6 weeks ago, you were really in this place where you really wanted to reinvent yourself, and you're doing it. So, and you did it in the best possible way. Talking with Rhea bloody Ripley. That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Yes, I appreciate that. It was once again great weekend. GCW was in town, and so was the Wrestling Revolver. And shout out to Just Jay right here over here in the chat for making all that stuff happen. They were real pivotal. They put us on, you know, they put In Your House on staff for the whole night, so we was able to work and do awesome stuff with GCW and Naptown All Pro and Wrestling Revolver. So shout out to Just Jay for making that possible. That was a big step.
A favorite moment that happened for you? Maybe one. Maybe give us a couple, because I know there are many. Besides the Rumble, I know that was incredible, but there's so many different things that were going on besides the Rumble and Indy.
Oh, for sure. So much amazing stuff. I mean, there was like 7 or 8 shows. Naptown really put on for the city in a major way. It was crazy. I mean, when I was at that GCW show, it was packed. Packed. I mean, the Wrestling Revolver packed. I mean, and it was such a great opportunity for so much talents that I get a chance to see on a regular basis here locally in the Indianapolis scene and in the surrounding Indianapolis area scene. And they got a chance to have so many awesome moments, you know, to see them on stages that they hadn't been on yet. such guys like Idris Wolf, somebody like that.
Cool.
That was awesome. Jeffrey John showing up on the
Hmm.
Wrestling Revolver, that was awesome. Just for me, it's cool to see my homies do awesome stuff,
Right.
but I think for me personally, it was just the easy access that I had for all those events and being able to. Everybody was open, everybody was
Hmm.
down, like, hey, you need some time or whatever. Everybody was welcoming to In Your House.
Yeah.
Got a chance to make some really awesome connects from the night. Uh, yeah, man, all love to Naptown All Pro and everything that they put on, because yeah, that whole, I mean, yeah, obviously we're gonna talk Royal Rumble, we're gonna talk Monday Night Raw, but what they put on around
Hmm.
those events, it was just awesome for me personally. And I know my son had a great time too. He got a chance to meet some of his favorite streamers and whatnot, and he,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a big thing for him. He loved it. So yeah, just the whole event. I mean, it's hard to break down like a few things, and then
Hmm.
get a chance to talk to Summer. Summer, super talented
Yeah.
production.
That's my
Yeah,
that's my wrestling daughter. Yeah.
all,
So it's cool that you guys you both got to link up. So
yeah, for sure. Doing great job in production for Wrestling Revolver. Like, yeah, it was amazing. Just an amazing weekend altogether.
that's awesome, man. I mean, you really put yourself out there in the best way you knew how, and you hit a grand slam. So, and you got to do it with your son. So that's even more dope. So,
Oh, for sure. For
especially
sure.
uh, do you think Indy proved that they were a Wrestle City?
Oh yeah, I think, well, in my eyes, being
Mhm.
around the area as long as I have, I always
Mhm.
thought that Indiana was a hotbed of professional wrestling. But I believe, well, I don't believe, I pretty much know that after this
Mhm.
past weekend, massive success. I mean, Royal Rumble did WrestleMania numbers with housing over 70,000 people
Craziness.
inside Lucas Oil Stadium. It was absolutely insane. Andy did a great job of doing, showing uh, love to wrestling. And like
Right.
having the street names, like Ripley had a street, and
Right.
Yeet Avenue, and Cody Rhodes, and it was just great, man. Like, it
And
really truly made me proud to be from Indiana.
wasn't WrestleMania 44 just announced there?
Well, there's speculation.
Ah,
Speculation.
okay.
I mean, we're for sure getting one. It was
Sure.
part of it
Sure.
was part of the deal that WWE and TKO did with the Indiana Sports Commission. So
Yeah.
we're for sure, we got the Royal Rumble. We're for
Mm,
sure getting a SummerSlam, and we're for sure getting a WrestleMania. But if we didn't do those numbers
for
this
sure.
past Saturday, they'd probably be like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have done that. But
Right.
no, I mean, 70,000 people packed into Lucas Oil Stadium. Indiana proved more than I think that I think more than WWE even thought possible. Indiana and Indianapolis proved that it is a hotbed of professional wrestling. It is, in fact, a wrestling town.
I mean, but there's so many different wrestling cities that surround it. So, yeah, it's only natural that so many people would flock uh to Indy for the Rumble. So, yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. It was a great time. Like I said, I mean, I feel like it was a big win for In Your House, and it was a big win for Indiana wrestling. It was a big win
Mhm.
for everybody in the
Mhm.
local scene,
Yeah.
and I truly do believe that. But no one won bigger than main event Jay Uso at the Royal Rumble.
And like the final 6 people in that Rumble, like they all had I feel like a pretty equal stake in the game.
Yeah,
But uh, like I didn't expect it to be main event Jay Uso.
I was shocked. I
I
was
was.
absolutely shocked in
I
person.
was. I swore it was gonna be CM Punk. I
I
thought it
thought
was
my
a
pick was
drop in the
Punk.
basket. I like seriously.
Yeah, yeah,
But
absolutely. Real quick, you just had Jay saying, and this is a good point. I wanted to make sure this
mhm,
was said because it's a real good point. Jay was saying that Jordan had said it. Jordan Rose, our former guest here, and helped and organized everything going down, said they didn't understand how indie gets taken over in the best way for live events. And that's true. Indy really, when you give us something, we own it, we take it, and we make it our own. And we're very welcoming. And that's what we did
Mm-hmm.
for the Royal Rumble and the weekend of the Royal Rumble. So real proud of Indianapolis, real proud of the city. But yeah, Jay Uso, I was there in person, and I got to
Mm-hmm.
tell you, I thought for sure that they were going to possibly go with John Cena, and I think that if they went with John Cena, I think that they would understand that in the long run, that wasn't the best decision, because the story here with John Cena isn't him getting an easy trip to WrestleMania. The story for John Cena is that he's got to go through some adversity. And I think that, I don't know if you saw that press conference
It was wonderful.
promo. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Oh my
Like
God.
I had tears streaming down my face. Like when he just gets going and he just lets the floodgates open, like y- I don't know, it just has a way of sticking with you. Uh
He's real. He's
he
real.
is. And it's spoken like a man who knows he has to work his ass off, and that he sh- he wants to earn it. Like that's the whole story. He wants to earn it. But I don't know how easily that's gonna come to John Cena. I think he might just be shy of all that he sets out to do. Like he flies too close to the sun. He has victory within reach, but in the end, I don't think he's gonna pull it off. So I think he's in the season where he is just going to use how he's built himself up over the years and really allow himself to be a launching pad for people who are going to surpass him. You
Yeah.
know, um, that's my prediction for the duration of John Cena's retirement tour. So,
No, I really agree with that. And it all started with the Royal Rumble,
hmm
because honestly, I think he did damn good business at the Royal Rumble.
yeah,
I mean, he did damn good business. He created a story arc for himself, and at the same time solidified Jey Uso as, hey, this, we're going with him. We're putting the rocket to his back. We're for real. You've put in 5 years of consistent hard work to the company and stood out, which is the hardest part. I mean, you can put in 5, 10, 15 years with the company and not like really get those opportunities. Look how long Kofi Kingston was with the company before he finally became a WWE champion. But
hmm
with Jey Uso, it was undeniably him. I mean, and the reason why I say that is because of the crowd. The
yeah.
crowd, they just love him. They made their choice.
It's
You know
like
what I'm
Princess
saying?
Diana, but Jey Uso.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like it's that's pretty much it. And it's like, it harkens for me, it harkens to like the Yes movement for Daniel Bryan,
hmm
and it harkens to Kofi Mania with Kofi Kingston, where it's like, yeah, this guy works hard and we just connect to him. And it's like, it doesn't matter what the catchphrase is, and I think I said this
hmm
in our group chat as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the catchphrase is. It could have been yeet, it could have been yes, it could have been yep, it could have been whatever. They chose Jey Uso. The fans chose Jey Uso, and I think that the Royal Rumble and him winning the Royal Rumble,
hmm
John Cena once again doing good business, goes back to him creating that story arc for his final year, but
hmm
then jumping it, just putting the rocket to Jey Uso's back. And
hmm
not like Jey Uso didn't just eliminate anybody, he eliminated John Cena. You know, like if that's not telling you like, hey, we're serious about this guy, I don't know what is.
I mean, I think that is it might solidify him actually walking out with the championship at WrestleMania, whether it be Cody's or Gunter's. At this point, I feel like I don't know which uh one he's going to lean toward. Um, but I noticed how long the beginning of Raw, where everyone was just yeeting all over the place, 21 minutes. 21 minutes of that crowd just losing their shit over Jey Uso coming out. He didn't say a word for almost
Yeah.
22 minutes.
Yeah, that was crazy. And then the emotion that was there for him, and him pretty much chronicling everything that I just said, the 5 years from the
Mm-hmm.
time that he started doing everything in the pandemic era to being the right hand man, to being the right hand man to Roman Reigns, all the bloodline stuff, everything. Uh, leaving the family, going to Raw, and then becoming the
Mm-hmm.
Yeet Man, and really just stand. I mean, it's so organic, and the
Right.
story, and like I can feel his emotion because he probably honestly, honest to God, never thought in a million years he'd be in that spot because he was a perennial tag team guy.
Yeah.
I mean, part of one of the best tag teams in the history
And
of WWE.
I absolutely loved how honest he was about it.
Yeah.
Because like he is, he's what he exemplifies is the struggle of the everyday person. You know, um, allowing yourself to really allow your natural potential just lead you where you're supposed to go.
Yeah.
Even though you have no idea how you're going to get there, but it's putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, overcoming that adversity. It's a huge jump from being a tag team guy to being a singles guy. It's all on you.
Yep.
And with all of the pressure that was on Jay Uso's back, like it really forged him as the person he is now. And I really feel like it's come full circle to him. And like just that crowd reaction is, like you said, it's so organic.
Hmm.
Um and he's just that person you want to root for. And like you said, like if the crowd responds to that level, like how do you ignore that? You can't. And I think this was the best promo that we've seen from Jay Uso yet.
I think we're gonna see more good promos from Jay
Mhm.
Uso, to be honest with you, because I just remember on the show just a couple weeks ago, you were saying he had cut a promo, he got in there with Gunther, and you just it fell short for you.
Mhm.
That promo fell short for you. But this was when he was just coming out of the
Right.
bloodline stuff. And like I had said at that time, I was like, he's somebody who plays better off of his brother or plays better off of Sami
Yeah.
Zayn. But
Yeah.
when it comes to standing on his own and having to cut a promo, he lacks a little bit. And like I think his emotions did get the better of him on Monday, but that adds to it to
It
me. Like
does. It
that adds
does.
to it.
It really like you could tell in how he delivered himself that it was so emotionally charged, and that's where a lot of it was coming from. So that was really cool to see. But like once that switch flipped, it was on. And
Yep.
then uh you started seeing the person who wants to walk the champion walk, and he's starting
Yep.
to talk it. So um I th- yeah, I've noticed a lot of growth in that aspect for me.
Yeah, yeah. If you're watching every week like we are, you could see it, And like you said, he flipped that switch. We saw Gunther come out, and Gunther just pretty much said, "Listen, man, I can't believe it was you. Like, you don't add to my legacy. I've already beat your ass,
Mhm.
several times." So he's pretty much saying, "Don't come for him. He needs to go somewhere." And it's like, here's the thing. I really think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Gunther. I
I
think he's gonna
agree.
pick Gunther because I think he's gonna pick Gunther because it's like, okay, Gunther represents something that he wasn't able to overcome, him being Jay. And I think that if he can conquer not only winning the World Heavyweight Championship, but conquer that demon that is Gunther, I think that it's going to prove something to himself, and that we're going to see a hell of a run as World Heavyweight Champion from Jey Uso. And I feel like that it's just that's the title to go for. I feel like that's the one that he's been kind of here and there trying to get to lightweight, whether it be getting an opportunity here or King of the Ring tournament there. Like, I think that that's the one. I think that's the title that he's chasing, and I think it makes the most sense for him to be the next title holder.
I agree. Given the history he's had with Cody, I think it makes more sense storyline wise to go after the uh, World Heavyweight Championship with Gunther.
Yeah, yeah. That's just my thoughts.
And if
But
anything, I feel like the winning the Royal Rumble at least legitimized Jey Uso
oh god,
in
yeah,
Gunther's eyes. So if not, he wouldn't have had that reaction because Gunther, he meant business. He wasn't, you know, dropping his spicy insults.
all business.
He was on brand. On brand. Didn't skip a
Yeah,
beat. So
yeah, he did. But once again,
mhm.
I think that's where he's going. Him being Jey Uso, I think that's where he's going, is straight to Gunther. But I got to talk a little bit about this match real quick. Penta and Ludwig Kaiser. We don't normally talk too much about
So
the mid
good.
card stuff, but
So
man, this
good.
was really good, Annie.
It was so entertaining. Just the arrogance that Ludwig Kaiser just exudes. It's disgusting. And but I think that's what makes him so damn entertaining too.
Yeah,
Um I like it's so interesting because yeah, Penta is wearing a mask, but how he emotes, it's it's incredible to me.
yeah, he's so good. He's real
And
good. It's just amazing.
just how well Penta can work with s- any different type of wrestler. Like
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to see what's next. I think it's gonna be a triple threat though.
Ooh, you think we got a triple threat coming?
Yeah, because of when Pete Dunne intervened.
Oh
No,
yes,
no,
Pete Dunne.
yeah,
It
yep.
was Pete Dunne.
It
No, you
was
were
Pete
right.
Dunne.
It was Pete Dunne. He came out. So yeah, I think we could see a triple threat between those two at some point. I'm interested to see what they do with that. But Penta, I just think the motion that they have with Penta right now, it's right where they need to be at. Right where it needs to be at. I'm gonna read some of these comments here.
Mhm.
Grunmeister said a little bit earlier, I was getting sold on Punk, but I was still hoping for Cena. He didn't think Jay was gonna be one of the final two, let alone the winner.
Same.
Yeah, same here.
He was in my top 5, not in my top 3.
Definitely not in my top three. Definitely
Mhm.
not. Voice says Grunt is going to be a mess. John Cena's last match. Me, on the other hand, I'm going to poke fun at him and steal his lunch money. Man, you are such a bully, Voice.
Leave Grun
Such a
alone.
bully. I know. Leave Grunmeister
Leave Grun
alone.
alone.
And then he goes on to say, Kevin Calloway told me he has been secretly crying in the shower, knowing the end of Cena is near. Take care of Kevin for us, Annie. He is sad pants McGee for Cena. We're all sad pants McGee for Cena. I know I am. I know I am.
You know what? I'm gonna put Celine Dion in the queue and say my heart will go on.
Sing it. Sing a little sad songs there. But that's actually a perfect segue there because Charlotte was trying to sing a sad song, but the crowd wasn't having it, man. They were not having it. This was honestly, I mean, I'm just going to straight up ask you, have you ever felt secondhand embarrassment before?
Um, I have, but I think Charlotte was prepared for it. I think she skillfully put like a subconscious litmus test out there just to test
Sure.
the waters to see
Sure.
how she was going to be received. Because yeah, I know what it's like to have um, a game changing injury. I know what it
Yeah.
does psychologically, what it does physiologically. It's a lot. I took myself off the mats for 9 months. I I didn't, yeah, but and I was dedicated, man. But it turned me into a whole different competitor. So yeah, I empathize when she said like that sucked, but depending on how the audience responded to her words was going to determine what version of Charlotte Flair we would be presented with. And just how expertly she was able to really change her energy depending on what she needed to do. Like,
Hmm.
she's a damn professional. And that really excited me because who else but Charlotte Flair? There's who else is going to be big enough to potentially stop Rhea or Tiffany Stratton? Who is built just off name alone to potentially take the championship?
Yeah, I
Charlotte
mean,
Flair
here,
is that ready-made person.
yeah, she is. And that was my pick to win the Royal Rumble. And
Same.
like you said, I think that she was testing the waters absolutely because I was just like because I listen, me being a wrestling fan, deep cut and whatnot, I
Mm-hmm.
know the stuff that she's been through in the last year. And it doesn't matter who you are, when you go through a year like somebody like Charlotte went through, it doesn't matter who you are, that's gonna take a toll on you, you know. I just think the crowd was just like, nope, we don't want to hear it. We're not having it. And I think some of that had to do not with the fact that she did not have a tough year or like she dealt with injuries, she dealt with relationship stuff. It was just a whole thing. But I just think that more people were just like, oh, here's Charlotte again, jumping the line, which is on brand for her. That's literally her gimmick, is that she jumps the line and then she comes and takes the title, and that's what she does. So I think that there's that nuance in there as to why the people booed her. But no matter what she does, as far as who she picks in the match, it's going to be good. And I think that that's where we're going with Charlotte Flair. I have growing suspicion that what could happen at WrestleMania is that she's going to pick Tiffany Stratton.
Same.
And I think that now, I don't know if we agree on this one, but we're about to see. I think that Tiffany and Charlotte Flair have a fantastic match with fantastic lead up to it. And I think this is all for Tiffany to pick up a big WrestleMania victory over somebody the likes of Charlotte Flair. I honestly believe if that's where they go, I think Tiffany Stratton retains at WrestleMania because it's going to be Charlotte Flair doing good business.
I think they're gonna dangle the carrot and tease Rhea versus Charlotte at
I
WrestleMania
think
again,
so
but
too.
I
Yeah,
think they're gonna swerve.
I
That's
think so
been
too. Mhm.
the trending pattern I've predicted, and I've been pretty damn accurate. So,
Mhm.
but I agree with you. I think they're gonna have a hell of a match at WrestleMania, but I think this round of Charlotte is um, for getting the other person over.
Yeah, I,
So,
I
and
truly do. And
you
plus also there's a story in Charlotte Flair losing a WrestleMania match because that's going to create some adversity for her.
right. Because, you are going to eventually have sympathy for someone who was the penultimate and then they're pushed to into obscurity. You have to go to the lowest pit to create the character arc. So that's how that happens.
Yeah,
But I really like how Charlotte is going. She went to Raw. She went to NXT, and
she
then
did.
she's gonna make a visit on SmackDown. So,
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. She made
hmm
she like you said, she went to NXT. I watched that on I believe it was Instagram
hmm
earlier today. And yeah, I thought that promo was better. She more sounded like Charlotte Flair to me.
hmm
And it was what it was. I think we're going to see a better version of Charlotte on the mic this Friday for sure.
hmm
When she confronts Tiffany, because remember, Tiffany, she's still a pup. Like, she's champion, but she's still a pup. Now
hmm
she's got to stand face to face with somebody who exudes greatness. I mean, has pretty much
right.
been the standard bearer of the division uh, before she was injured. So I think that's going to be probably more than likely Charlotte Flair's most confident promo that she's going
hmm
to cut this week. And yeah, Charlotte's most definitely making her rounds. But yeah, you had Rhea Ripley come out, and Rhea Ripley was like, "Hey, I hope that you pick me because you obviously still don't respect me, and I'm gonna beat the respect into you." So like, I liked Rhea's angle on this. Once again, I don't think they're gonna mix it up at
hmm
WrestleMania. But what do you think about Rhea Ripley and her involvement coming to speak to Charlotte during her Royal Rumble, celebratory speech.
I thought it was a different side of Rhea that I've never really seen before. It almost, I don't know if just that vendetta you had against someone you hate but you respect, but I don't know why Rhea felt the need to be I don't know, like I felt like she was she just kind of attacked Charlotte Flair. I don't know. It almost reeked a little, I don't know if she was just hungry for her next thing, but it kind of reeked a little desperate.
Oh, okay.
Just a little bit.
And I could see that because it's like, you're the champion, she should be coming to you.
Right. So it's like, is there any residuals of unfinished business? Because that was kind of a moment of weakness that I saw in Rhea Ripley. Like, is there a hole in the sinking ship? Is there, like, what is that? Yeah. And I could just be making something that I saw into nothing, but
that's kind of what we do here, though.
For sure, we speculate.
Exactly, we speculate.
Yeah.
So I can most definitely see that. I mean, she did defeat Charlotte Flair for that title, a couple years ago at WrestleMania. But like, I still feel like, and I think that it's the respect thing that's pissing her off.
And Charlotte had a really good counterpoint to that too.
Yeah.
Because Rhea's first WrestleMania appearance, Charlotte did beat her.
Yeah. Yep. So they go back. Like, sometimes I forget they go back. Like, they really do. And Grunmeister, he says, I definitely want to believe there was a reason beyond the segment going bad, but I think she was sent out. So he's saying that he thinks that that they're being sent, that they sent Rhea out to save the segment, which, I mean, it was running a little bit long. It was running a little bit long, but like, I don't know about that. I think that because it was the celebratory speech, because like you said earlier, Jey Uso had a lot of time. They gave him a lot of time. So I think, and before Gunther came out, so I think they gave, when I think about it, and if it's the exact same format, then they gave her a lot of time before champion Rhea Ripley comes out. It's the exact same format. So yeah, I don't know if it was just they sent her out. I don't think it was that. I think she just had a lot of time, because with the celebratory speech, with the celebratory promos, they gave him a lot of time. You got Nick here saying it's Charlotte versus Tiffy. This is on smoke screen. We literally were just having that discussion for sure, bro. So yeah, we think that it's ultimately Charlotte and Tiffy. They're doing good business, I believe, right now. I truly do. Like, everybody wants to say that Jey Uso is going boom straight for Gunther, and I think that he is, but I think we need to have this smoke screen where he's gonna go to Friday Night SmackDown and talk to Cody, so I think it's important that we have Charlotte Flair going to SmackDown and talking to and talking to Tiffany Stratton. It makes sense. Like, they should be weighing their options. You don't want to be foolhardy and make a decision so fast, so I think it's smart. I think it's good. But real quick, we still got a lot to talk about. We got the comments jumping right now. We have qualifying matches for the Elimination Chamber, and
sliding on in there.
Boom, jumping right on in there. So I want to take a break real quick, pay a few bills. Then when we come back, we are going to talk these Elimination Chamber qualifying matches and all the stories that's jumping around those.
Hello everyone, it's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world.
Hey guys, welcome back to In Your House. Just want to take a quick break, real quick, take a little pause for the cause, but we are back. And you know, Annie, we were talking a little bit before we went on the air about how this episode was pretty straightforward. I mean, we didn't see a whole lot of fallout from Royal Rumble. I
Mm-hmm.
think we saw the speeches, but
Yes.
then boom, they started pushing us straight towards all right,
Right.
elimination chambers coming up, which I don't think is a bad thing
I
because
don't. Yeah.
they're making elimination chamber matter because each chamber match is whoever wins it basically will be able to go up against the other respective world champion, men or woman, that the Royal Rumble winner does not pick.
Mhm.
And I think that's great. That's how it should be. That's how the format most definitely should be for sure. And we had two matches where we had Liv Morgan go up against Io Sky, and then we also had Sami Zayn going up against CM Punk. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. But I got to say this first. One thing that just jumped off to me when I saw these qualifying matches is this. I thoroughly can't remember the last time CM Punk wrestled on Monday Night Raw.
Wouldn't it be the first week on Raw? The first.
Oh yes, I mean, okay.
The
So let me say
episode.
it like that. It's been two times. Let me twist it up a little bit because
Sure.
it's been two times. Because of course, you're right. It was the Raw on Netflix debut because it felt like a PLE. But I guess I mean like a normal
Gotcha.
run-of-the-mill Monday Night Raw that isn't huge or big or anything. We're just pushing storylines along. And you know what? For me, once again, like you said, Raw on Netflix debut, he was definitely there. But I appreciated the fact that he was wrestling on a not super duper important Monday Night Raw. I mean, it was important because we're pushing storylines along and we're moving the road to WrestleMania, but it wasn't like a PLE caliber type event.
Why is that something that you appreciate? Why is that something?
Because throughout the time of his time on returning to WWE, he's been on pretty limited dates for the most part. And if he shows up at a Raw or a SmackDown or something, most of the time he's just cutting a promo or maybe doing something backstage or something like that. Like I appreciate the fact that as we're getting closer and we're trucking towards WrestleMania, we're still getting CM Punk, even though he's somebody who could cruise on his name. We're still getting him weekly on television having matches, and I'm a CM Punk fan, and I just appreciate that.
And so soon after Rumble,
right, for sure. I'm in the realm of like. We in our mind we're like, hey, every single appearance that we see John Cena, it's like we have to appreciate that appearance, right? Because obviously we know it's one of his last. But let's not forget CM Punk's up there in age too, you know? And in my mind, with the moments that Punk has given me as a fan, whether it be his time in Ring of Honor, or whether it be his time in WWECW, or whether it be his time with the Straight Edge Society on SmackDown, or whether it be him cutting a scathing promo about the company with John Cena in the ring while he's sitting on the stage, whether it be him walking out of the company, anything this guy has done has been polarizing, and now he's up there in age. It's just, I put it in my mind as like anything CM Punk does, I just appreciate it a little bit more right now because I don't know when his time is coming.
and especially how much he's been injured since he's been back. I
Yeah,
think
for
he's going to
sure.
be I think he's going to retire differently than John Cena does. Um all of a sudden he could be like, that was my last match. So
Yep.
definitely something to appreciate as long as we've got it.
For sure. That's where my mindset is with CM Punk. I just enjoy the man and
Right.
and the work that he does. And he had a good match with Sami Zayn in his qualifying match. This was a really good match. This night of Monday Night Raw really did have a couple of really good matches, whether it be Io Sky and Liv Morgan. I enjoyed that one. Obviously, you had the tag team match there. As we saw the reinvented New Day.
Which I
Uh,
like. I like that they
I
didn't change the name. I like
yeah,
how everything was just the inversion of what they once were.
it's
I
Evil
thought that
New
was
Day. That's what it
really
is.
cool.
Yeah, Evil New Day. That's what it
Yeah.
is, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
And they didn't even have to change the name because given the different iteration, it still stands. It's a new day of a new day. So,
Yep. Hey, I like where they can go as far as this recreation with them. It's good stuff. Um, Liv Morgan, she's going to the chamber. CM Punk, he's going to the chamber. Uh, Seth Rollins tried to hype up Sami Zayn before the show while he was dressed like the Undertaker. And this
a
man, he
multitude
just
of
puts on the
things.
most ridiculous things.
I love it. I love it. He
He was
is the
he
male
was
he truly is the male equivalent to Becky Lynch. I saw a sign that
yeah,
said the man's man and I thought it was great.
it's crazy. He was giving TNA Macho Man Randy Savage.
Seriously. Like like who knows where that inspiration was truly pulled from because it was a multitude of things. Like
For sure. Listen, if that was
love
TNA
it.
Macho Man Randy Savage, that's a deep fucking cut.
I'm like I saw the Undertaker.
Yeah.
I saw oh man, I saw
90s
many
rock.
different
I saw 90s
right.
rock with the
Yeah.
turtleneck and the
Yes.
chain. My God. My God. It was he's a crazy I love what Seth Rollins is doing, but of course we got to talk about what happened at the end of the episode. That'll probably take up the rest of this episode.
Mhm.
So I got to ask you this before we talk about that.
Mhm.
Um Liv Morgan, CM Punk, they move on to the chamber. John Cena is already in the men's elimination chamber match. What do you think about the winners of the qualifiers this past Monday from Raw on Netflix?
Um as soon man, I wanted it to be my girl Io, but as soon as stupid Liv and Raquel attacked her, I knew that wasn't going to happen. I mean, and I think it has to be Punk. It has to be. If he's going to make himself get into WrestleMania, it's going to be an elimination chamber. So, I think I think the right choices were made.
I think so too. I think the right choices were made, but probably for different reasons
Yeah.
than you do.
Mhm.
Because I think the reason why it was good for me that Liv Morgan ended up winning it is I think right it solidifies that at least for right now, Liv Morgan can be focused on something else besides Rhea Ripley.
Right. Right.
Of course, if she goes in that chamber, then she's be working her way towards who I would assume still be champion at that time, Rhea Ripley. So she's working towards it, but she's shifting focus towards something else to get to that. And at least for now, that gets her away from Rhea Ripley. I mean, just for the time being, I don't think she's winning the chamber. I really don't think that she is. I'd be shocked if she did, but I'd also have to see the other participants too.
Mhm.
But I just don't see that happening. So I think it's going to lead to something else entirely. So I think this is a good way to break her away from Rhea, and boom, Rhea's going to focus on whatever her next challenge is going to be. If that's at Elimination Chamber, if they have her wrestling, or if whatever some Monday Night Raw or something in the coming weeks that they decide to make something decent, because I don't think they have anything between between Elimination Chamber and
Yeah.
Mania.
Right.
But as far as CM Punk goes, I think he was the right choice because I know that Seth Rollins also has a qualifying match in a couple of weeks for the Elimination Chamber, and I think Seth Rollins is going to be the reason why CM Punk comes up short and loses in the chamber, and he cuts him off again. Because here's the thing: the story here, in my eyes, is Punk really don't want no smoke with nobody. He doesn't want any problems with Drew McIntyre. He don't want no problems with
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins, but they're obsessed with him.
And I think this is going to be a really good uh, opportunity for business for Seth Rollins and CM Punk to continue on past WrestleMania.
For sure, because they're gonna have a good feud. I mean, CM Punk. People can say what they want about his wrestling or how many shows that he shows up at. Anytime he comes and does something, he makes it matter. So it doesn't matter who you put him in the ring with. They're gonna get the best version of CM Punk, and CM Punk's going to get the best version of them because that's what
Right.
CM Punk commands, as far as storylines and things of that nature. But yeah, I just think the story here is that he's going to get cut off at the pass by Seth Rollins. I heard speculation that the WrestleMania match could be a triple threat match between Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. And I'm like, wow, they're going to put them in a triple threat match. Huh? Is that how we're getting to this? And I'm like, what could make this triple threat match matter more? Like, of course it's going to be a feud and whatnot, but it'd be hard for me to believe that they wouldn't be leading towards something besides just hate or whatever it may be. I
Right.
mean, it could be like that. I guess I have to see,
I think there
but
has to be something deeper than that. Like, how is
I
it
think
going to
so
get to
too.
that deeper layer? And also, how is Drew McIntyre going to fit into the equation too?
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
that's
that's
my
one
question too.
one big variable that we still have to deal with.
Yeah, that there is that. I don't know if they're trying to lead from looking at some of the stuff I saw on SmackDown. I don't know if
Yeah.
they're trying to lead Damian Priest to Jacob Fatu, if they're leading him towards Drew McIntyre now.
Ooh.
So I guess I don't know as far as that goes, but
Mhm.
yeah, Punk, Rollins, and Roman, like Big Rod just saying here, there's speculation that they might do it at Elimination or
Mhm.
at Mania, that is, and I think
Mhm.
that it starts at Elimination Chamber because I think that Seth is going to cut CM Punk off at the pass and stop his opportunity. Yeah, I that's just what I feel like. But I like the picks as far as the winners
Mhm.
go. Now we get a chance. We know Punk's going to be in there. We know Liv Morgan's going to be in there, and the qualifying matches are going to continue. I like this. I like this type of stuff personally. I like the fact that it's something we're qualifying for because now it makes every match on the shows matter.
Mhm.
And sometimes we're just wrestling just to wrestle, which is okay. But when we have like a tournament or a qualifying match for something, it just adds a little bit more for
Right.
me personally.
I even love how the tag match between the New Day and LWO set up for Logan Paul's qualifying match. Man,
Logan
I
Paul.
can't stand Logan Paul. I can't like his privilege is so loud. I just want to like plug in my ears like ugh ugh uh
Yep. And he's got a qualifying match against Mysterio next week. And I
he
think
does.
he's going to win it. I
I
think he's
think
going
so
to win
too.
it.
I think so
Yeah.
too.
I
Yeah.
think that they're
Well,
gonna. I think they're gonna make this. I think they're gonna make this a really good elimination chamber match, just like they did with the Royal Rumble match. So okay. Let me just ask you this,
yeah.
and then we'll talk about. We're definitely going to talk about what happened at the end of Monday Night Raw, and once again, there's going to be a lot of discussion there. We know that Liv Morgan is in. We know Punk. We know John Cena is in for sure.
Hmm.
Who do you want to see in the elimination chamber on the men and women side that's still available. The slots that's still available.
How many are left?
So for the men, it's 4. For the women, it's 5.
Ooh, okay. So we have Liv. We have, I want to say Zoe Stark. I'm going to say, oh, this is hard. It's going to be probably Lyra, Naya.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be Bailey. And then there's going to be another awkward encounter between Naya and Bailey, my favorite.
Your favorite.
My favorite. And then I think it's going to be, I'm going to say Michin and Chelsea Green.
Ooh, okay. I like that. I like that. That's good. All right, what about the men? You got 4 slots for the men because two's already filled.
John Cena and we have Punk. No.
Yep.
Yes, Punk.
Yep.
Okay.
They're the one. They're already in.
Okay, it's going to be Roman, Seth. Jey Uso does not need to be in it. He already has a match.
He does not need to be in it. Nope.
Ooh, Jacob Batu.
Ooh, that could be interesting.
And Logan Paul.
Okay. So for me personally, we already for sure have Liv Morgan. Io's out. Okay. All right. So I would say Bianca Belair will probably qualify.
Mm-hmm.
I think Naomi will qualify. So I got Bianca Belair, Naomi. I think Bailey will qualify. Let's see. So I got 2 more.
What about Roxanne Perez? Is she on your radar?
Oh, she is on my radar. I think her call up could be coming. So I'll say Roxanne Perez. I'll put her in the mix. Definitely not winning, but the accomplishment is that she's there.
Right.
You know,
right.
That's the big accomplishment for her. And then
isn't that when didn't Tiffany Stratton have she was in an elimination chamber match, wasn't she?
She was. Yeah, she was made from that.
Yes, and that's exactly, I think that's gonna be the case for Roxanne Perez.
And I think we could also see Alexa Bliss. I think Alexa Bliss is another, and we got Big Raj. He said Alexa Bliss too.
I agree.
So I think so. As far as the men goes, I think it's similar to yours.
Mm-hmm.
I think Logan Paul is going to be in there. I think it's going to be Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and then you know what? I think we could also see Drew McIntyre. I think we could see Drew McIntyre in the mix. As far as qualified for it, and just this is going to be a big one. It's going to be huge for sure. I think they're doing a really good job of pushing everything that they're pushing as far as like making these matches feel big, because we were all calling the Royal Rumble the most star-studded Royal Rumble ever, and it's because they've got all the names built. The guys are there. I mean, this roster is absolutely insane. It's great, and as far as like insane rosters and everything like that, I'm somebody, Annie, who back in like the mid to late 2000s, early 2010s, I was quite a big Ring of Honor fan.
Sure.
Big Ring of Honor fan. And I got a chance to see some great matches between 2 men by the name of Kevin Steen and El Generico. And man, did these guys absolutely kill each other in every single match that they have had. And they just carried it on to the main roster as friends, as enemies. But like I said earlier, Sami Zayn, El Generico, for you people out there who don't know, he had a qualifying match against CM Punk that main evented the show. And
I'm surprised he didn't get that push in Toronto. That was one thing that I mean, I think it had to get it was probably always going to be Punk, but Sammy gets such a big pop in Canada. Well, he is from Canada, but
for sure. But I have a thought about that.
Yeah,
I have a thought about that. But we'll get to that. But first off, we got to talk about the package pile driver, because he's already done it to Cody. He did a pile driver on Randy Orton, and we haven't seen him since. Real quick, just the way they are making that pile driver feel important, and I love it. I love it. I gotta say, like it just it stops everything. Like when he does that pile driver, everything stops. Like somebody's hurt, you got to get the
Yeah, they're
paramedics out
dead.
here. Exactly. Like I'm telling you, when he does that package pile driver, to me it's just because he doesn't have to do it all the time, but when he does
Mm-hmm.
it, it matters in a major
Right.
way.
Right. I love when something like that is protected.
Yes. Yes, that I thoroughly enjoy that. And we saw Sammy take it. And you know, what I really enjoyed about this main event is that it felt this is probably the most Kevin Steen that I've seen Kevin Owens in a long time, because he was deranged, he was beaten, he looked like he looked like a wounded animal the way he came in there and just took out Sami Zayn and then left, and still in pain from what happened to him, getting killed by Cody Rhodes at the Royal Rumble. Like it was just everything about that main event segment was good stuff to me. What were your thoughts on it?
I just, before even we even get to Elimination Chamber, like we're getting these premium live event finishes that are just planting seeds and drawing us in for more. So that's what I really, really, really appreciate.
Yeah. It's good stuff. So here's what I think is gonna happen, because you are right. You're right. At least so I'm what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm going to personally book the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens story leading up to Mania. So Big Rod says they are gonna do Sammy versus Kevin at the Elimination Chamber. I think so too.
I love it.
I truly do. And it's going to be for those reasons that you're going to see Sammy get that pop that you mentioned earlier. And he's going to have that opportunity. And it might not be in a championship match, but it's going to be an important match against another Canadian, somebody that's his friend, that's his enemy. So I think the heat is going to be in there for sure. How I would do it personally
Book it.
is
Talk to me, Con.
Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at the Elimination Chamber. And they're just gonna kill each other. They're gonna destroy each other to a point where there's a DQ, a no contest or something, some sort of fuck finish, to where it's like, oh, because rules were involved. The reason
Canadian
why,
tar pit fight. I don't even know what that is.
That'd be a crazy thing.
Canadian oil pit fight.
That listen, I think Diddy would like that a little bit too much.
Ugh, okay, never mind. I
Thank you. Listen, so they would have this would be a regular one-on-one in Canada at Elimination Chamber. No contest finish, no DQ, whatever. And this is going to lead them to have to be like, listen, we're going to lead up to Mania. There's undoubtedly going to be a winner. Somebody's going to get beaten into the ground. Somebody is going to be decimated. That's why at WrestleMania, I personally would do Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in some sort of street fight.
Yeah. Yes. Using hockey sticks and the like.
That'd be wonderful.
Dang, I had a thought and I totally forgot it. Damn it.
These things happen, but I would like to see them have a street fight. Oh, you got it?
I do. I got it. I'm requesting that Sami Zayn comes out wearing an El Generico mask.
I will absolutely lose my mind.
And then he just takes it off.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's okay.
Yeah.
Like the fact, like how Andrade comes out with the mask and then he takes it off, and Balor does it on big events. Absolutely, he doesn't have to wear it for the match. I'm okay with that. Right. If he comes out with the El Generico mask and takes it off, I will lose my fucking mind. I promise you.
There would be no greater callback.
Seriously, I'm telling you,
we're forecasting here.
You know what's probably even more likely?
Yeah.
I could see, because with Kevin Owens, his whole gimmick lately has been like, what shirt is he wearing? What's
Yeah,
on his shirt?
sure.
If he wore a
Oh,
El
oh,
Generico shirt,
love it.
that would go crazy. That would go
If
crazy.
it could say, "Who am I?" That's great.
Oh,
Love it.
that's good. That's
I love it.
cold. Yeah, I could see them doing that. This is probably, if they let them do a street fight at WrestleMania, they could steal the show.
I really think that they could. In fact, they should probably open with this match.
I'm saying, because like, if you let those, if you let them do some Ring of Honor ladder war type shit, they're gonna tear the house down. Like, and you don't have to do it like, it doesn't have to be the Ring of Honor
Mhm.
names or this or that. Just call it a street fight, but
Right.
let them have a Ring of Honor style match.
Exactly.
That's all
Exactly.
you got to do.
You
That's
can
all you
do
got to
it
do.
without actually doing it.
Exactly. Exactly. You don't got to do all that stuff. It doesn't matter. Like, call it a street fight,
Right.
and then just let them have, and even let them bring out like ladders and stuff, like just for callback reference as weapons. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
like, let them do, because I don't know if you've seen any of the clips or anything.
They're
Every now,
crazy.
it's insane the stuff they did to each other. Insane. And
Like, you
if
guys
they,
are friends, right?
right, exactly. And here's the thing. Here's the
Yeah.
thing. They don't even have to do all that stuff in the match.
Right.
They can do like 2 or 3 of those spots, and people
Right.
at WrestleMania who've never watched Ring of Honor a day in their life would be like, "Oh my god, oh, I've never seen that before."
Mhm.
You know, I'm telling you, like, they're the way. If they did it that way, I
Mhm.
think that they're setting themselves up for a massive WrestleMania match that could steal the show on whichever day that it's on.
Remember, it was heard here first on the Raw deal with House and O'Neill.
Hey, you never know. Well, actually, sometimes we really do know, because we've
We
called a lot of
do.
stuff.
We
We have
do.
called a lot of stuff on the show. I'm proud of what we've put together here on the show for sure. But listen, this has been a great episode. It's been fun. We talked all things going down on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Now we're going to slide out of here. But before I do that, I got to make sure I give my co-host here an opportunity to plug anything that she needs to plug. So, Annie, the floor is yours.
Well, this week we're taking a break at CCW. We will be back there next week on February 13th. But this weekend I will be live at Emerge 85. So can't wait to get back in that game once again. There's some amazing things going on this weekend. So big things always happen when when some of the members of the IYH team, they get to collude. Amazing things happen. So, how about you, Con? What's going on with you?
Well, it's like you said, I'll be there this weekend here at Emerge Wrestling. And man, it really feels like there's some electricity in the air when it comes to this Emerge show. Of course, the Emerge Championship being vacated. Man, that situation was crazy, crazy. But it's created opportunity for many
Absolutely.
others. And it's really exciting, because if you look at the Facebook page, when they made the announcement that they're vacating the title, there was a sea of competitors that
It
came into
went
that comment section.
down.
Yeah, and they were like, give us a shot, we want a shot, give me an opportunity, this and that. It just, and so like, there's this buzz right now with what's going on with the Emerge Championship. Then the match was officially announced, where JD Mariani is going to be going at it against Ace Austin. TNA's Ace Austin is going to be there. That's actually going to be amazing. The astonishing Ashton Adonis, who he's on the come up as a major star, Ashton Adonis is. And then, of course, the leader of the tribe, Paragon, who's going to try to regain his championship. This fatal four-way is just the main event of what's already a really stacked card. So, yeah, Emerge 85 Love and War this weekend. It's going to be great. It's going to be an amazing time. And it's always great, because we're going to get a chance to get together once again and do our thing. And, yeah, it's going to be a great weekend. So if you guys have nothing to do this weekend, you're in the Indiana area or surrounding area, and you want to see some damn good wrestling, Emerge 85, Love and War, Columbus, Indiana. They're at the Bartholomew County Fairgrounds. Go check it out. But yeah, other than that, you could see me right here doing my thing at In Your House. And guys, you know it's just all a part of the work because it's HOWSE, and that W stands for work. So for Divinely Designed Annie O'Neill, for the Chaos Goblin, Kevin Calloway, for the voice, Josh Joseph, for the Grunmeister, for Hypocrisy Jones, for Relentless Ray Larson, and of course the world's most dangerous podcaster, Paragon. I'm Alakon the Concept House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.
Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We as them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. And your house is the perfect distraction. Rumpus in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke.